Hey, so in this video, we're going to cover the Unit 1 study guide. All right. So for this, we're supposed to convert each angle to degrees or radians based on how it's given, and then give the reference angle. We're going to give the reference angle and these coterminal angles in the converted angles form. All right, so first we have 350 degrees. So remember, our conversion is pi divided by 180 is equal to 1 degree. So all we're going to do is, for 1, multiply by 350 on both sides. You will need a calculator. Please go grab one. So we're going to get 350 times pi divided by 180 is equal to 350 degrees. Cool. So that's our conversion. We don't need that thing anymore. So now 350 divided by 180, that fraction simplifies to be 35 divided by 18. So 35 pi divided by 18. We can see this angle is in quadrant 4. So for an angle that's in quadrant 4, to get the reference angle, we do 2 pi minus the given angle. So for 1, our reference angle is going to be 2 pi minus 35 pi divided by 18. I'm sorry if you can hear my hot water heater in the background. In the afternoons, I have to record somewhere different. So we get 2 pi minus 35 pi over 18, and that is going to be the same as 36 pi divided by 18 minus pi 35 pi over 18. So we get pi over 18 as the reference angle. Now that's 10 degrees if we look at it in degrees. So that's our reference angle. The smallest positive coterminal angle means that since we're starting with 35 pi over 18, we just want to add 2 pi. So we get 35 pi divided by 18 plus 2 pi is going to be 71 pi divided by 18. Next is the largest negative coterminal angle. So we want to take 35 pi divided by 18 and subtract 2 pi until we get a negative. So now, fortunately, 2 pi is the same as 36 pi divided by 18. So we get negative pi divided by 18. So we've covered both of those immediately. So we have our smallest positive coterminal angle and the largest negative coterminal angle, and then we have our reference angle. For number 2, the angle is 11 pi divided by 9. So now if pi divided by 180 is equal to 1 degree, 1 radian is equal to 180 divided by pi. So now we're going to multiply both sides by our angle in radians. So we're going to have 11 pi divided by 9 is 180 divided by pi times 11 pi over 9. So 11 pi divided by 9. If you throw that into a calculator, let's see. That should be 220 degrees, I'm pretty sure. 18 times 180. 180 times 11 divided by 9 is 220. So that is equal to 220 degrees. Cool. So we converted the angle to degrees. So now the reference angle, we can see that the angle is in Q3. So for the reference angle, we're going to do our given angle of 220 degrees, and we subtract 180. And that's going to give us 40 degrees for the reference angle. 2, the smallest positive coterminal angle is going to be 220 degrees plus 360 degrees, and that's going to equal 580 degrees. The largest negative coterminal angle, we subtract 360 until we get a negative. So minus 360. We only need to do this once. We get negative 140 degrees. All right. For number 3, we have negative 600 degrees. Let's just see where that angle is located. So negative 600 degrees. All right, so if we're drawing our angle, so negative 360 means we go clockwise. So we're going to go around the circle once. That's going to be 360 degrees. Now, if we keep going, we're going to go 180 to get 540. And so then negative 600 is going to be somewhere in quadrant 2. So right here. So now our angle's in quadrant 2. That's going to help us out in a moment. So now if we convert this, so then negative 600 degrees is negative 600 pi divided by 180. So let's see, 60 divides into both of those. So what's that? Negative 10 pi divided by 3. All right, so that's the angle in radians. So now the reference angle. So now the reference angle, two ways to think about this. Now this angle is, the closest angle is 540. The closest quadrantal angle is 540 degrees, or negative 540, which is 3 pi. So we can do negative, we'll do the absolute value of negative 10 pi over 3 minus 3 pi. So that's 9 pi over 3, really? I'm sorry, plus 3 pi. Because it was a negative 3 pi, because it's negative 540. So that's going to be 9 pi over 3 minus 10 pi over 3, which is negative pi over 3. But in absolute value, we get pi over 3. The other way to do this is to get a coterminal angle that is positive, and that's the same as 120 degrees. But either way, we get pi over 3 as our reference angle. So the smallest positive coterminal angle, we need to add 2 pi until we get to a positive angle. So since this angle is negative, if we added 360 once, that's still going to be negative. So we need to add 360 twice, which is the same as adding 4 pi. So we're going to take the negative 10 pi divided by 3, and we're going to add 4 pi. And that is the same as adding 12 pi over 3, so that's going to be 2 pi over 3. So 2 pi over 3 is the smallest positive, and then the largest negative, that's not our angle. We need to do negative 10 pi divided by 3. We need to subtract 2 pi. So that's the same as subtracting 2 pi again. So that's going to give us, nope, we need to add 2 pi because that'll give us still give us a negative angle. So that's the same as adding 6 pi over 3. So that's going to be negative 4 pi divided by 3. Excuse me. So now if we added 2 pi once more, we'd be at positive 2 pi over 3. So this is the largest negative, smallest positive, and the reference angle. Number 4, 410 degrees. So let's see where that angle is. That angle is in quadrant. So let's see. Now, since it's positive, we're going to go around the unit circle, or not go around the unit circle. We're going to go around this way. That's 360, and then we need to add 50 more. So we stop like right here. So the angle's in quadrant 1. So in radians, we would have 410 times pi divided by 180. That's just 41 pi divided by 18. The reference angle is, so since this angle is more than 2 pi, we're going to subtract 2 pi from it. So we get 41 pi divided by 18. We subtract 2 pi. That's going to give us a positive angle that's in quadrant 1. That's the same as subtracting 36 pi over 18. So that's going to be 5 pi over 18. That is our reference angle. The smallest positive coterminal angle, in this case, we can subtract 360. That's going to give us 50 degrees, but we already did that, right? We did it right here. So again, we do 41 pi divided by 18 minus 2 pi, that's the smallest positive coterminal angle, which also happens to be the reference angle, 5 pi over 18. And then if we subtract 2 pi again, so we're going to take 41 pi over 18, and we need to subtract 4 pi because subtracting 2 pi left us with a positive, so we're going to subtract 4 pi, which means we take 2 trips backwards around the unit circle, or around the circle. So that's 72 pi, so that's negative 29 pi divided by 18. All right, so that is us converting angles and finding coterminal angles. That seems like a good stopping point for this video. We'll make a second one for the other part.